What's up?
Hey Omar, how you doing?
I'm good. What you guys up to?
Just talking about how the Quran affirms the injil, and it's the same injil that we have today.
Oh, it's the same injil that you guys have today?
Oh yes.
Oh, in the Codex Sinaiticus?
Yes, because that would have been in the context of the one that Muhammad affirmed. Yeah.
So would that be including the shepherd of Hermas and Barnabas as well? Would you have that available, or?
It would have been the injil as understood by Orthodox Oriental Church, the Imperial Church, and by that I mean the Roman Catholic Church, as well as the Orthodox Church, the Church of the East, and so on. Now, there may be differences in book count, but we can take the Protestant count of 66 if you want. But ultimately speaking, the doctrines and the message are the same. So my argument is more based on the message and the doctrines than it is on the text. As you know, Christians do not believe in the doctrine of perfect textual preservation. That is a Muslim doctrine.
Right. But wouldn't that be problematic when you're missing like two important chapters with different theology?
Is it a problem for the Quran when the Quran is missing two chapters? The Ubay ibn Ka'b had that weren't included in the Uthmanic Codex?
Okay, so you want to jump to the Quran now? We can if you want.
No, I'm just saying, if you think that, I think that's a problem for you because you believe in perfect preservation of a text. I don't believe in that, and Christians don't believe in a perfect preservation of a text. We believe in the preservation of a message and that our doctrines are being preserved.
Okay, yeah, we believe in the skeletal text, but obviously there's different qira'ah modes of recitation.
Okay, so that skeleton text from Uthman is perfectly preserved, yeah?
What was that? You cut out.
Sorry, the consonantal text of Uthman, his codex, that's perfectly preserved. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah. Like I said, that's one way you can say it.
Okay, so you're aware that people like Miriam Van Putten have pointed out that there's actually multiple different Uthmanic codices with variants in them. And that's understood by the early Islamic...
That's fine, but
okay, so it's not perfectly preserved.
We could talk about it. So we're leaving the original topic of the Injil.
Well,
because it was something
if you want to,
I wanted to mention. I don't mind. I don't mind getting into this, but
well, I don't mind either. But my point is that we differ because we have different beliefs, right? So it's unfair of you to think that I'm going to have the same belief as you, just like it would be unfair of me to think you'll have the same belief as me, right? So,
but yeah, I'm definitely glad you. Yeah, we could talk about that, inshallah. But I think it's important to mention that the shepherd of Hermas and Barnabas is out, and even within your gospels, there's different theology, like Luke and Mark, two different theologies.
Okay, well, I don't know what you mean by that, but again, we can make similar comparisons to the Quran if you really want to go in that direction. But it's not going to help you because, again, the primary doctrines of my belief are affirmed throughout the four gospels. The four gospels, which are the same for for all the different churches. Again, none of them have any different gospels here. They affirm the same gospels. So the injil is the same.
Yeah, sure. But if you look at Luke, Acts, you won't find atonement, the same atonement that's in Mark and Matthew, right?
Why are you talking about Acts? This is about the injil.
I know, but you're talking about keeping on the same topic.
Right. My point is that whatever Muhammad affirmed the injil to be at his time, that would have been Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, universally. I would like to see if you can challenge that.
Say that one more time and you cut out, man. Sorry.
Okay. So, can you hear me all right? Avery, is my mic all right?
Yes.
I can hear you just fine. I don't know what's going on in here.
Oh, maybe it's an internet thing. Okay, so the injil that Muhammad affirmed in the Quran at his time, at that time, in all of the church, the universal church would have believed that to be Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Okay, so when Muhammad affirmed the injil, and he says you're accountable to the injil, he said this to the people of the injil, that's presumably me and Christians at that time. He is saying to them, you need to follow what is written in this injil. Oh,
he cut out. Yeah, so it was his connection. He'll most likely be back, but his connection is tripping. We got one for you.
Hi, Ishmael.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I just joined the stream, but the topic of the stream is you're saying something about the injil of the Quran is what you guys have right now. Am I like that's the main topic, right?
Yeah, so the Injil, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that would have been the one in use at the time of Muhammad, that the Quran affirms is the same that we have today. Yeah. In terms of its message and its doctrine.
Okay, what does the Quran say about the Injil?
So it says it was sent down by Allah, Surah Al-Imran, Ayah 3. It also says that it is authoritative to Christians, so something to follow, in Surah 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ayah 47. It also says that Christians should judge by it in Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ayah 68. And it says that those Christians who fail to judge by it are accountable for failing to judge by it. So there's a few things.
Okay, are you missing the part where it says it was revealed to Jesus himself?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay, so what you have now, was it revealed to Jesus or was it written? Like, is it the book given to Jesus or is it the book written about Jesus?
So first of all, you're assuming the Quranic narrative about that is correct, and I wouldn't assume that at all.
I mean, there's no assume. Sorry, it clearly says that the Torah was given to Moses, the Injil was given to Jesus.
Okay, so in that case, then, given that we've understood, like my argument is the Injil that Muhammad's referring to is the same one at his time that the whole church believed in. So in essence, Muhammad is just an error if he thinks that it was a direct revelation to Jesus. Okay,
so hold on. The Quran also says the Quran is here to confirm and correct what was given, what was in the Injil. So let's even assume what you have right now is what is in the Injil. Why don't you go with the Quran when it says I'm here to correct or confirm what was before me?
Where does it say correct?
I don't know. I mean, I don't exactly know the verse right now, but it says I'm here to correct and confirm. Well, maybe not exactly correct, but it's I'm here to correct.
It never says correct.
It doesn't know.
I'm guessing you know what verse I'm trying to talk about for you to immediately see.
We know all the verses you're talking about.
I'm guessing if
Can you pull up one?
You would say something like the Quran is Al-Furqan, it is a criterion, and the way you're going to interpret that is it's a criteria over previous scriptures, and therefore this implies that previous scriptures were corrupt, which I reject. I think that you can look from early tafsir that makes it quite clear that there are other interpretations of that, namely that it's a protector or a guardian. Why not just say it's a protector or a guardian?
Okay, if I'm protecting something,
does that mean it's corrupt?
If you're
protecting, can you protect something that's already been corrupted? What are you going to do? Protect it from further corruption?
which is again why my initial argument was the fact that what you have right now is not what was given to Jesus.
What did we have at the time of Muhammad? Did Muhammad have the correct, uncorrupted
Here's the thing. This might sound, I don't know what it is. It might sound crazy to you, but I don't care what was in the Injil because I have the Quran. I don't need to know.
But the Quran says that one of the ways you can prove Muhammad's prophethood is from the Injil.
Okay, but do we have the Injil?
No, Muslims lost it. Like in your narrative, a Muslim ummah, the scholars, the ulama of Islam, lost the Injil that proved that Muhammad was an actual true prophet.
Well, is that the only way to prove he was a prophet?
No, but I think it's very suspicious that they lost something that would have proved it. Beyond a shadow of doubt.
If that's not the only way to prove he was a prophet. By the way,
but you understand what we've just agreed here? We've just agreed that one of the central arguments in the Quran for the prophethood of Muhammad is an error.
So, sorry, what was that?
Is an error.
What is that? What is the argument?
Okay, the Quran makes it very clear that in Surah 7, Ayah 157, Avery has brought it on the screen before, he makes it clear that you can find his description mentioned in the previous scriptures in the Injil and the Torah that they had written with them at the time of Muhammad.
Can you pull up the verse, please?
Again?
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I told you I just came online, so I'm real sorry.
It's okay, bro.
This whole stream is just Avery pulling up 157 over and over again.
You see, so it says, this is chapter 7, verse 157. Those who follow the messenger, the prophet who can neither read nor write, whom they find written with them in the Torah and the gospel, the Jews and Christians.
The Jews and Christians at Muhammad's time.
Okay.
So at the time of Muhammad, there was an uncorrupted Injil and Torah, yes?
Okay.
Okay, that Torah
Okay.
would have been understood by the Christians in the Christian empire at the time, everywhere in the world, to have been Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Why do you say that?
Because history shows that that's exactly what they had. We can trace our own history back. Okay, so the earliest manuscripts we have, right, like that are full major uncials of the scripture are things like Codex Vaticanus, Codex Sinaiticus, Codex Alexandrinus, and these were made in the 4th century. That's 200, 300 years before Muhammad.
Okay.
So we know that no matter where you are in the world, because it's been like 300 years now, Muhammad would have seen, if he had any access to an Injil, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Okay.
So Muhammad affirmed Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Well, I don't completely understand what you're saying right now. My argument. No, hold on. My argument is.
I think you
the
do.
Quran
It's pretty
says,
clear, man.
No, it's not about it. My argument is the Quran says the Injil was revealed to Jesus, basically given to Jesus.
Yeah.
Now you're here talking about
that's a claim made by the Quran. But why should I trust the Quran if the Quran doesn't even know what the Injil is?
What is the Injil? Sorry, what is the Injil?
The Injil, yes, is the gospel, right? Now, when you're talking to Christians, because Muhammad is talking to Christians, you understand that, right?
Okay.
The Christians he was talking to were Trinitarians. So when you go to a Trinitarian and you say you have nothing to stand on unless you stand on the Injil, the gospel, what do you think they're going to understand that as?
As the book revealed to Jesus.
No, they would understand it as Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the gospel accounts of Jesus.
It said God. Sorry, what?
The Christians would understand it that way, wouldn't they? The
They would
Nicene Creed believing Trinitarian Christians?
They would understand the Injil as what was revealed to Jesus, not what was written about.
No, that's what the Quran says. The Quran says it was revealed directly to Jesus, right? That's not what Christians believe. It's not what the earliest manuscripts say.
Okay, so why can
the earliest accounts are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John?
If you're making a distinction between what the Quran says and what the Christians believe, why can you then say the Quran is talking about what the Christians believe?
But why can't I say the Quran is talking about what the Christians believe? Or what
you're saying I'm saying the Quran says the Injil was given to Jesus. You're saying the Injil was written about Jesus. But you're also saying the Quran is talking about the Injil that was written about Jesus when the Quran says it was given to Jesus.
Right. The Quran affirms the Injil, right? Regardless of how it came.
Given to Jesus.
Right. But that's just an error. Like, you need to prove to me that was actually the case. How can you prove that to me?
I don't know. The Quran itself is the proof. Like, if the Quran is from God.
Oh no, the Quran is already telling Trinitarians to believe in their gospel.
If the Quran is from God, right? So we have to take whatever it says as the truth, right?
Yes, but that's begging the question, right? If I could just be like, okay, well, the Injil that I have today, that came from God, so we have to believe that it was inspired.
Well,
by
that's
God,
what I'm saying. So we then have to test. We then have to test. Is this from God?
Right, exactly. Let's use reason. Yeah, let us reason these things. Okay, so the Quran says in multiple places that the people of the book, al-Kitab, which are Jews and Christians, they ought to follow the previous scriptures. And it says about the people of the gospel, which would have been Nicene Creed.
Okay, now what are the previous scriptures?
So the Injil and the Torah in this context.
What is the Torah?
The Torah would have been the first 5 books of Moses, the Pentateuch.
The first Bible,
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Given to Moses or written by Moses?
Written by Moses.
Basically, was given to Moses.
Apart from the Ten Commandments and certain other points.
It was given to Moses.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what is the Injil?
Okay, the Injil, again, everyone would have understood this in Muhammad's context. Everyone would have thought this. It is the 4 gospel accounts that talk about Jesus, that say that he is the Son of God, that he became incarnate and flesh, that he died and he rose again 3 days later.
I think
everybody would have known that's what it meant.
One of us is not understanding the other.
Okay,
if I'm telling you, no, hold on. If I'm telling you right now that I sent you a book, a book was given to you, right? And then let's just say Avery comes, let's even say 5-10 minutes later, and wrote a book about your life, and says that book he wrote is the same book I'm talking about. Does that correlate?
Okay, so imagine that book, right, that you think you made or whoever made and you've given it. Now imagine if I thought that book, that someone there was a particular author who contributed to that along with God, right?
Okay.
Now imagine that not just me, but like 95% of people in the world believe that same thing.
Okay.
And then you tell me and all those other people they have nothing to stand on unless they judge by what's in that book.
By what's in the book I gave to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the question
thought,
then the question. Sorry.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Sorry. Hold that thought. Romsky, are you a Muslim or a Christian?
It looks like a
Well, it's
Christian.
a Christian, right? It's got to be a
I
Christian.
can do all things with Christ. It looks like a Christian.
But I know a Christian is not going to click the link that says Muslim only. So I just know that's not going to happen. Rumsky, are you a Muslim or a Christian? Rumsky.
He's going to silently drop out now.
All right. Anyway, sorry guys. If you're not a Muslim, don't hit that link.
Yeah, Ishmael. The point is that when Muhammad was talking about an injil, the Christians would have understood that to be Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and Muhammad never said anything about that. He just said, "You guys have got to stand on the injil." So either Muhammad didn't know what the injil was,
it's not. You're assuming,
or he's contradicted his own revelation.
You're assuming Muhammad wrote the Quran for you to say he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Say again, sorry.
You're assuming Muhammad wrote the Quran for you to say he doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, I'm not assuming anything. I'm just assuming that whoever wrote the Quran did not understand what the Injil was.
Okay, so according to who wrote the Quran, what is the Injil?
It's what you said it was, right? It's a book that was specifically
given to Jesus.
Okay, but that's not what
Jesus
the people
have
who
Matthew, Mark. It doesn't. Okay, wait, you are saying what they believe. People believe all sort of things.
You're arguing from an assumption the Quran is de facto true to begin with. I'm obviously going to reject that.
Okay. Which is why.
And then when we look at it neutrally, when we look at it neutrally, it looks like whoever wrote the Quran made an error because they didn't understand what the Injil was.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, okay, put it this way: the Injil, as the Christians understand it, would have clearly been written by people because it says so in the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. In the accounts, it talks about how this is being written by someone, right?
Okay.
So all the Christians who have that would understand that. So if someone comes up to them and says, "Hey guys, you really got to trust and judge by that Injil. By the way, it was directly given to Isa."
Okay.
Wait, well that's two contradictory things then, isn't it? He's told them on the one hand they have to stand and judge by it. But then he also contradicts the very thing he's telling them to judge.
They have to judge by what?
They have to judge by what's in the Injil.
And what is the Injil?
Well, this guy just contradicted by saying it's directly from God when the Injil itself doesn't say that. So he's just contradicted it. That would be like me saying, you guys have to judge by the Quran. You know, that book that was inspired by man and you know, or inspired by the Holy Spirit and written by man. You guys would be like, wait. You're telling us to judge by the Quran, but you're also telling us that same Quran you're telling us to judge by was written by man and inspired through the Holy Spirit.
The Quran doesn't say the Injil. The Quran never said the Injil was written by man.
Well, actually, just say it was written.
It doesn't say.
It's just the very thing we showed you. Well, please. In the very verse we showed you, it says.
Dude, are you looking at the screen?
I am.
All right, so you see how it says that they find Muhammad written with them in the Torah and the Gospel?
Man, I'm getting deja vu.
Okay,
yeah.
Which is what I'm asking. Wait, sorry.
Hey, even your Islamic scholars, they add in the parentheses. They say Deuteronomy chapter 18, and they say John chapter, what is that? 14? I think that's 14.
Like 14, that is, yeah.
That looks like 14.
Yeah. So even your Islamic people are saying that it's the Bible that we have today, man.
Yep. Do you see now how the Quran is in error?
Sorry. Amir, forgive me for what website is that?
It's the Quran, bro.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, it's like honestly, it's like we're not on the same page in terms of what the Injil is.
Right, but you again, it doesn't matter because the Quran claims something about the Injil that is factually
And what does it claim?
wrong.
What does it claim?
It claims it came from God when the actual Injil that everyone knows that came long before Muhammad doesn't make that claim.
Okay, so does that not tell you either it wasn't talking about that Injil? Like, is that not what we can draw from that?
It wasn't talking about that Injil. Okay,
it wasn't talking about what you have, which is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's talking about what
it was talking about
that's
a
my whole point.
different one.
That's my whole point.
It's talking about a different one. Okay. That was a long time to get there. Okay, it's talking about a different one. Okay, do you have any evidence of that other one?
The evidence is right there. If I'm telling you right now, hey, look, what's your name? Chris, yeah. Chris, I gave you a book. 10 minutes later, Avery came around and says, well, he wrote about this whole conversation we're talking about right now. He wrote, let's just say he wrote about it. Then somebody comes along and says, hey, what Avery wrote is what I gave to you. There is a difference there. So you can't even come to the conclusion that it's the same thing. If I'm telling you,
so you're saying there are two different ones then? There are two different Injils.
I'm not saying there's two different Injils. I'm saying the Injil the Quran refers to is what was given to Jesus, not Moses. Sorry.
Right, which we know factually by the historical context is incorrect. The only way you get around that is you just assume the Quran is true, de facto.
Well, I mean, that's what I do. Which is, again, I didn't say that.
That's what you do. Okay, so you basically, you argue from the fact that you assume your position is correct even before you argue.
I did say, because the topic of the whole point is, what is the Injil of the Quran? I did say, you would have to prove that the Quran is right. Or the Quran is from God. If it's from God, then whatever it says goes, right? But that's not the topic. No. The topic here is, what is the Injil of the Quran? If you want to talk about whether the Quran is from God, like, you want to talk about it right now?
No,
that'd be a different topic.
That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you. Want to know why? If the Quran, let me ask you this: if the Quran got everything right, but got one thing wrong, does that mean it's from God?
No, it's wrong.
All right. So if the Quran got everything right except what it says about this Injil, it would still not be the word of God, right?
What does it say about the Injil?
That it's authoritative, inspired, and preserved.
And given to who? It doesn't say preserved.
Yes, and wait, what? It doesn't say it's preserved. Why is Muhammad telling people to follow it then? Was he confused? What did he say?
He doesn't say it's preserved. Let the people
why is he
of the
telling
book judge
people
by
to
what
follow
they
it
have.
then?
It's what you believe. Go judge by what you have.
Wait, are you saying Muhammad confirmed a corrupted book then?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry.
You are saying. Ishmael, I think you just sort of argued yourself against yourself there.
We're making different. It's like we're speaking different languages. I've said it. I've showed you not showed you, but I've I don't even know what to use. I've gone around multiple times to show you that the Injil the Quran is referring to is what was given to Jesus. Right?
Right. Is that the same Injil that the Christians have? That Muhammad was addressing when he told them to follow.
What you have right now is not the same. Is not the same Injil, because what you have right now was written about.
Why did Muhammad tell the people of the Injil?
The funny thing is, you're also assuming that what they have back then is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Every single Christian thought that's what it was. Every single one. I mean, there are obviously some outliers, but the entire church, regardless of what denomination you are, think that's what it is.
Okay, so you're telling me right now. Hold on. You're telling me right now.
Let's try the same thing. Wait. Let's try the same thing with him. Why don't you think it's Matthew? Why don't you think it's the writings of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John?
Because I used it as an example. If I'm telling you that, hey, Chris, I gave you a book, which means you had the book with you, and then about how many years, minutes, days, hours later, Avery comes along and says, oh, this book right now is an account of. That's not answering the
question, bro. That's not answering the question.
What is the question?
How do you know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write the Injil?
That's what I was getting to. I didn't say they didn't write the Injil. I said the Injil was given to Jesus.
Was it when it was given to Jesus? Was it a physical book or was it just some type of oral revelation?
I don't need to know.
You don't need to know.
I don't need to know.
But you do need to know.
You know why I don't need to know? You know why I don't need to know? I don't need to know
because you're trying to tell us what it's not. You're trying to tell us that we don't have it. If you don't know even what it is, what it was, where you can't tell us anything. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hold on. If I tell you right now that Avery, you're putting on a black shirt, right?
Oh my gosh.
No,
None of your analogies work.
These
Analogies-
analogies.
None of your
Analogies
analogies work,
makes-
man. Look, I'm gonna just say this, man. Thanks for coming.
Okay.
We could go ahead and move on to the next
Let me
person.
just
Chris,
no.
if
Let
you
me
want
just
to,
let me
if you
just
wanna
let me
continue
just
with him.
sorry if you don't mind. Let me just
We'll
summarize
move on.
everything I've been trying to say. If you don't mind, let me just summarize
No,
everything I'm trying
you
to say. And I'll be gone.
You summarized it
No,
greatly,
I'm
bro.
gonna just summarize it and I'll be gone. I'm gonna just
You
summarize it
got
and I'll be
nowhere.
gone.
You got
No
nowhere with
response,
us,
no
man.
nothing.
We're just in circles.
I'm just gonna
So-
summarize what I'm saying and be gone.
Thanks for coming.